couple themes coming out of last night's game. And, big picture theme, obviously, the Red Sox and the Mets can't help out the Yankees last night because the Red Sox take care of business against the Mets out at Fenway Park. And, the decision to send Pete Alonso home. So the Mets are going to Mets here in the month of September. And then you get the Rays falling to the Toronto Blue Jays. Though the Yankees, as we sat here yesterday, sit in the same position that we do today, which is a half game back of the Toronto Blue Jays for that second wild card spot in the American League. No margin for error for the Yankees. They got to go continue to win baseball games, and they've got one game left here with Texas tonight before the schedule gets a lot more difficult. Finally have an off day on Thursday. Then you're going to get Boston over the weekend, and then you close it out with a series against the Blue Jays and then a series against the Tampa Bay Rays. That's it for the Yankees over the next week and a half here. And, for the Yankees last night, Montgomery's been really, really good. And was really, really good last night. I think over his last 8 or 9 starts, his ERA is a tad under 3. And Jordan did his job last night, and he was great. And I know, as Jerry mentioned, the top of the hour update, everybody is going to be focusing in on Luis Severino. And Severino, with his 2 innings of work, velocity was no longer at 97, 98, 99 miles an hour. Pre-Tommy John surgery, he was about 94 on average with his fastball, but topped out at 95. And you did see the slider and the changeup as well, and did have nasty break on some of those pitches and got swings and misses, Maggie. I thought Severino, nice story coming out of it, looked very, very good. But big picture-wise, spent a lot of time yesterday talking about the Yankees and whether you're a fan and you're rooting for this team to win or lose and looking for, the wholesale changes at the end. Listen, I, as a Yankee fan, I root for him to win. I mean, I do. I mean, and we can debate about where this organization is, the changes that need to happen to this organization, and what should transpire after this season if it ends in failure. And ultimately, whether that be not making the playoffs or getting eliminated at some point in the playoffs, whether it be the wild card game, divisional game, championship series, whatever it might be, and what needs to happen with this team. So last night was a good night in Malusa's household. It really was. You get the home run by Judge that breaks the game open. It's a daylight victory. You haven't had a lot of those. So you have the poignant moment with Luis Severino stepping into the game where he's not protecting a 1-run lead at that point in time, where you can allow Luis Severino to kind of, get his feet wet, in his first game back on a major league mound in well over 700 days. Think about that for Severino. And for the Yankees, see, my expectations for the Yankees have not changed. See, I got to see it, right? So not only they didn't fatten up on their schedule before, whether it be the Mets, whether it be the Orioles, whether it be Cleveland. Now they've got to go sweep the Texas Rangers tonight and finish off this series before the off day tomorrow. And then we'll see exactly what this team is made of and what it's all about over the final 9 games. Aaron Boone keeps on telling everybody, well, it's all in front of us. Everything that we wanted to accomplish before the start of the year, we set at goals, we can still go accomplish those goals. Well, the first thing is to make the playoffs. The second thing now is they've got to do something that really, aside from a 40-game stretch, and really they haven't been able to beat quality teams consistently all season long, they're going to have to take care of business against the Red Sox, the Jays, and the Rays in order to see October.
Yeah, I think it's really important that they don't overlook today, though, because after those 2 wins, and especially last night, you're feeling great about yourself, and Severino looks good in 2 innings. When they sent him back out there for the 9th, I was like, man, the Yankees are feeling themselves right now. But I think that was ultimately, obviously, was the right move because they won the game. We'll see how Severino recovers today, but he showed you a lot yesterday, and something that had been one of the real question marks about this team, Moose, which is how's this bullpen going to hold up, after Chad Green giving up home runs lately and Chapman, and there's just so many questions. Is Loaisiga going to be back in time? Looks like he's going to be. So many questions about whether or not the bullpen was going to become a strength or not for this team down the stretch. And now you get Severino, like another guy you could put into a high leverage situation, not to mention Mike King, who has now pitched 6 1/3 scoreless over his last 8 outings. Like, these are the type of things that give you some hope, because it's not just saying, like, cross our fingers, that guys keep hitting home runs, or that we're going to somehow magically turn this around with some pixie dust. No, you're getting actual help here. These are the tangible things where you think, all right, now maybe the Yankees have a shot here and have to keep winning. But how many times have we said, Yankees going for a sweep, go into the final game of the series, and then they just have a letdown? I mean, the Yankees haven't swept anybody since going back to Atlanta in late August like 23rd, 24th. So they really have to keep the focus here. And that's what I wonder about the Yankees. Are they going to have the focus? Are they going to have the discipline? you know how it goes with the Yankees sometimes. It just starts to devolve, whether it's a bad defensive play here, and then that leads to a big inning. We know if they get down early, they're not going to be able to come back. So you have Kluber on the mound tonight, and can they finish out this series in this sweep? That would tell me a lot. Then you go into the off day, and then you have obviously the big showdown against the Red Sox this weekend. But it's got to be keeping the focus for today. And you know what? I don't know that the Yankees have really proven to you that they can do that. It would go a long way if they could finish out this series sweep. The Texas Rangers are playing for absolutely nothing here. You are playing for everything. Aaron Judge said this is fun. He finds this fun. He says usually at this time of the year, it's already like, they already know what's going on, that they're going to be in the postseason. He thinks this is fun. I don't know if I'd characterize it as fun in terms of watching it. I'm glad they're having fun playing it. It kind of seems like a big misdirection. I won't call him a liar, but maybe a big misdirection there, that this is actually fun with gritted teeth all the time. But finishing out this series is everything. Severino back, Mike King pitching well, Domingo Germán going to be back soon. There are tangible reasons to think that the Yankees will actually finish this off and make the postseason.
Well, and could get a little help today. 3:10 first pitch between the Rays and the Blue Jays down there in Tampa. Then the Toronto Blue Jays are taking on the Minnesota Twins for 4 before their series against the Yankees, and then close out with the Baltimore Orioles. So, I mean, you might be able to take the field tonight if Tampa knocks off Toronto, with an opportunity to jump over the Toronto Blue Jays for the second wildcard spot, and any kind of momentum, or I say ground you can gain here, is going to be all the better. I know the Blue Jays have got a game in hand, and they're taking on 7 of their games left on this schedule, aside from the Yankee games. You're taking on Minnesota and Baltimore. So, I mean, those are absolute doormats that you would expect the Toronto Blue Jays to absolutely hammer. The last time they took on the Baltimore Orioles, they scored 44 runs over the course of 3 games. They weren't in these death struggles that the Yankees were in. So yeah,
same with Boston. After the Yankees, they're at Baltimore, at Washington.
Yeah, so it's not going to be easy, but that means that it's not only sweeping Texas and finishing off the Rangers. You make the argument they got to sweep the Red Sox, right? And then they got to sweep the Toronto Blue Jays. I mean, this is what the Yankees have put themselves in. There is little to no margin for error for the Yankees. They can't drop 2 or 3 against the Blue Jays, because who knows? I mean, so you can look at a series this weekend up in Boston when they're taking on the Red Sox, and the pitching matchups are set, and you're going to see Nick Pivetta, and you're going to see
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole is right. I mean, you're going to see Nestor Cortez is going to pitch the game on Sunday. So the pitching matchups have been set for this Yankee team this weekend up in Boston. But if they don't, yes, they got to beat Texas. They don't take care of business against the Boston Red Sox. We could be talking about a Yankee team come Monday where we're thinking about the offseason, where there's going to be too much room to gain with the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to hope that they could use this as the springboard, but then you look over Boston, and they've won 6 in a row, and whoever thought the Mets were going to help out the Yankees? I mean, are you new around here? I mean, have you seen what the Mets have been doing this season?
It'd be nice.
Well, the Mets aren't playing well. That's
nice.
The problem. It's not like the Mets are on this crazy
Felt
hot
good
streak.
When it was 2-0.
Yeah, just
Felt
wait
good.
5 minutes. I mean, I love Marcus Stroman, and I think he's been great for the Mets this year, but when he gives up home run double, I mean, Luis, do we really have to wait around for the next home run? We can't just pull Marcus Stroman, get him out of there. You don't realize maybe he's hanging some sliders there? Get him out. It's just, that's a whole other thing. But when the Yankee fans
Xander Bogaerts start teeing off. Well, I mean, yeah,
but when the Yankee fans are whining like, "Oh, Mets, can you help me out?" Watch a couple Mets games, and then you'll realize why they can't help you out.
The answer to that is no.
The Mets are in zero land right now. I mean, it is bad.
I understand. Well, listen, the Yankees were hoping for a miracle last night. The Mets to actually play a competitive game.
Hey, I said, have you been paying attention?
It was competitive.
It was somewhat
It was competitive for like 4 or 5 innings.
Man, I got to tell you, though.
But it wasn't. Yes, I agree with you. I'm
just like, man, Yankee fans, geez, Mets. Like, yes, exactly. This is what the Mets fans have been talking about for months.
Can the Mets hang in with the Red Sox tonight for 5 innings?
They're facing Chris Sale against Taijuan Walker.
6 innings.
How about this for Chris Sale? You remember how he got
Boston, I'd start whistling in the first inning. Just keep whistling.
Remember when Chris Sale played for the White Sox and he got so incensed by the bad uniform, the alternate uniform,
jersey,
that he took a pair of scissors and cut up everyone's uniform in the White Sox clubhouse like Psychoville? where are you on these yellow things? How did these like get away from Chris Sale? Get the scissors out on these and let's rip these up because it makes no sense. Someone on Twitter said they look like a daffodil. I'm like, yeah, this is just a bad look. I don't get it.
It's colorful.
Well, I get why they're doing it.
It's beautiful. I like them.
It's an homage to the Boston Marathon.
Yeah, it's not a traditional, obviously, Red Sox uniform. I don't think they're the ugliest things I've ever seen.
Well, they're not the ugliest. They just make no sense.
The Sale uniforms in Chicago, weren't those
They were
the
short-sleeved, I think.
Yeah, they were the cutoff jerseys.
Yeah. And that caused him to get the scissors out, but yellow and light blue doesn't do anything for you. Now you're fine with it.
He's gotten paid.
Was that a money thing?
I actually, it does the uniforms. I get why they're doing it. When you're watching, you're like, who the hell is this? They're not half bad.
On the surface, they're not half bad.
I actually don't mind the uniforms.
It doesn't
I really
make sense, though.
It's Whatever. An ode to the marathon, right? I get it. It's a little strange. I thought they were only going to be doing it for like one series.
Yeah, they brought them back because the players liked them.
Yeah, see? Look at that. An ode to the players. An ode to the marathon.
I don't know.
An ode to everything that is Boston. Yellow and bright blue.
Yeah, because that's what I think about when I think of the Boston Red Sox. But listen, it has not been pretty for the Yankees going up to Boston this year. So this is going to be everything for them. We know. I don't know if this Yankee fan base, like they've been fooled all season long. They're not going to come along this easily, Moose. Obviously, I know you want to win. I know I don't understand why you'd want to lose. We went over that. Not making the playoffs, I don't think leads to the wholesale changes Yankee fans think that it's going to lead to. But here's my thing. You've been fooled so much this year, right? Like, this now is different to me because, again, you have actual reasons why this team is better. Luis Severino back out of the bullpen. Your team is better. Mike King coming out of the bullpen. Your team is better. Getting Domingo Germán back. Your team is better. You are getting these actual things that are making them better. Now's the time. If you were ever going to believe in the Yankees, now's the time. No,
I guess
you can't get there.
It's a nice sell. It is a nice sell.
Well, I believe it.
You're at the top of the pulpit.
I'm not
there.
selling it. It's real.
The beads of sweat.
How about
are
Torres going to
forehead.
second? He's on an 8-game hitting streak.
I agree with you. That's why I said yesterday I think it'd be foolish to trade Gleyber Torres in the offseason. He looks a lot more comfortable at second base than he ever did at shortstop in the offense. Most importantly, the offense is starting to turn for Gleyber Torres, but I'm not all the way there yet. There's a difference between wanting to see your team win, which I'd like to see the Yankees win, to all of a sudden then wholeheartedly believing
but
that
I'm
they
giving
have turned
you
a
reasons.
Corner. I get it. Yeah, I understand that. Great, fantastic. I need to see it. Honestly, I know that's an old cliche. You got to see it in order to believe it. It drives some people crazy, but Severino on the mound last night was awesome. Getting guys back on this team, especially when you look at that pitching staff. Fantastic. However, there's still major concerns about what this lineup, if we just take the adventurous step that they make the playoffs, of what this lineup does come the postseason. What does it look like come the postseason after we've seen this lineup wilt in the postseason when they've had unbelievable offensive years during the regular season and they haven't had it? What am I getting from Garrett Cole? 2 of his last 3 starts have not been particularly good.
Well, one was a hamstring, so he had to leave early.
But
give him a little pass on that one.
But the last start when they need him against Cleveland was
awful.
terrible. I mean, it was downright terrible. So I don't know. I look at it. I'm not all the way there yet to where saying I wholeheartedly believe that this team is now turned a corner. I'd love to see it. Love to see them go take care of business up in Boston. Don't want to see the Red Sox dance on the Yankees' grave this weekend up at Fenway Park. And don't want to see the Blue Jays dance on the Yankees' grave. Don't want to see the Rays dance on the Yankees' grave. It might be inevitable because of who the Yankees are facing and what Boston and Toronto are facing here down the stretch, Maggie. But I got to see this group. The storylines, connect the dots. Some of the storylines are absolutely fantastic. Whether or not I believe that this team now has all of a sudden found it, I'm not there.
Where's your confidence level right now? 10 games to go. 877-337-6666.
Which is nice.
Yeah, you have something to play
for you.
I wouldn't know what that feels like. Team's out of it. Pete Alonso finally admitted last night it doesn't look good. Got it, Pete. So you don't think you know? You know what? That's going to be playing golf soon? Cool.
Mets have got something to play for tonight. The Yankees.
If they won't play for the Mets, what makes you think they're going to? If the Mets won't play for the Mets, what makes you think the Mets are going to play for the Yankees?
Listen, sometimes strange motivators, right? People make strange bedfellows.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it.
I'm just hoping. I don't
see Chris
it either,
Sale
but
coming through.
Probably right. It would be nice to see the Mets pull out a victory, but I'm not holding out hope. The Yankees have put themselves in a position now where they need the Mets to help them.
Do you agree with Judge? This is fun. This isn't my idea of a good time. I would rather know I'm in the postseason, but maybe they need something to spice it up.
Yeah, I think probably. I would. If he had his druthers, yeah. But I think as a competitor, you're looking at it going to the ballpark every single night, must-win scenario. You have to show up. You have to pull.
Yeah, that's what the playoffs are called.
Yeah, I think for Judge, he's enjoying it. I believe him. Why not? Why not believe a guy that's got 36 home runs and hit an absolute bazooka shot last night, where not many guys in Major League Baseball are getting and driving that ball out to right center field the way that Aaron Judge did? Want to hear from you. 877-337-6666. Are you on board? Do you believe what you're seeing from this Yankee team right now as they knock around the hapless Texas Rangers before they take on the Red Sox this weekend? Want to hear from you. Moose and Maggie just getting going. Tiki Barber will join the program. Daniel Jones, award winner, will explain a little bit later on the program as well.